Hello again, YouTube. A bit more progress on the Austin, which I'd like to show you. So we're now sitting on a dolly, which I've constructed. So I've pulled the rear diff out of it. I've got to do the front suspension this afternoon. And this is the bracing that I've put inside it. So, as in the previous one, there's bugger all of the floor left, and where the back seat used to sit. So I've put a brace across there between the two ends of the chassis rails here, braced front and back, and then braced across the front here, because there's essentially no sill left at the front. And then these downriggers go into where the front part of the chassis rail goes up through here into the engine bay. I braced that because I didn't want, when I had it on my frame, I didn't want the front end to sag down before I do any work. The dolly, which was sitting up in the previous video, was made to these dimensions for a very specific reason. It's lengthwise inside the frame, and you can see it's tack welded here just on the outside of this rear frame rail. So lengthwise it works well in this configuration. The idea is that while it's here, I can fix or completely redo the both inner and outer sills on each side, because they need to be done before any other framework can be constructed, because they need to be straight. Then the idea is that this is of the correct dimensions, that I can then take this dolly off, leave these chassis rails, these outriggers if I need them, turn it 90 degrees, and then it's exactly the right dimensions to sit up on top of the sill on either side, and then use it that way. That way then, all this in it, I don't have a dolly in the way when I'm going to try and construct my frame rails and build a new floor, etc, etc. That's why it was designed with this idea in mind. Just show a few bits that were covered in crap before. So the rear part of the boot's essentially all going to have to be replaced as well, which is, I suppose, needs to be done. All the panels are set over there because I had a bit of a tidy up. I stripped the roof, which disappointingly actually isn't as good condition than I thought it may have been. There's a couple of hollows in it with a bit of filler on it, but we should be able to straighten it out a lot better it was. So this was chemically stripped with paint stripper down to the red oxide primer, which you can't really take off with stripper, and then just sanded back, cleaned up, deoxidine, and then it's essentially free to sit here till whenever I get on to working on it. There's quite a nasty dent back here in the quarter. I will fix this, and I'll show you how I'm going to do that. That'll be an interesting video. There's probably a tree that's fallen on at some point in time, because there's a sister dent down here on the lower part of the quarter. That's not an issue because I've got the replacement quarter sitting behind me. That's about it, I think. So yeah, she's definitely Flintstone styles in here. In some ways it's actually a better thing, because then you can see exactly where you're going to start cutting. I suppose there's a lot more in the way when you've got a decent body. So yeah, questions, comments, I'll just keep adding as I get round to doing things. Oh, the body is also going to be sandblasted. I think the guys, when I take it down there, will laugh at me when they see how bad the body is. But I'm also going to cut out some of the exterior areas which I know are bad. For example, before I do that, I'll probably cut this part of the front off, so they can actually sandblast in behind it, because all these are rotten. This is, pretty general sort of rust for this model. Take this off, because these are usually pretty bad by the spot welds. Then I can have my sandblaster blast all in behind here, which can also be a bit grubby, and then I can repair these and put them back on. A lot of guys do this. Same idea with the sills. I'll probably actually cut the outer sill off, so they can sandblast and clean it. I'll cut around here all off as well, down by the lower part of the guard. I'll probably actually zip most of the guard off, because it's all going to have to be replaced. And yeah, that way when you take it to your sandblaster, you get both the outer skin blaster, but also the front. And I'm also stripping some of these outer panels that I've got and trying to decide what's the best ones to use. So there we go. Merry Christmas, everyone. Probably post another video in a couple of days. Cheers.